Hey, what's going on, guys? Well, today I'm going to attempt to redo my story time video on the failed drug test. Now, I know I'm saying failed drug test. It's a fail in the entire process to get the drug test done. I did, in fact, pass the drug test. I'm not on drugs. So, at least the time of the drug test, right? No, I'm kidding. I don't do drugs. So, first off, it is a beautiful day. That's why I'm out here in my... looks like a sports bra. It's a tank top. I'm sitting in a bra. Although that would be kind of funny in a way. Neck knife today is that little Civivi. Love this thing. Little old guy. But I was outside. I did not get a chance to clean this all up here. I'm on my little deck. I like to do a little garden every year. And it is havoc. And there's leaves everywhere. I do all the leaf blowing and raking and all that crap. And I got to find time to do it. But actually, it's going to be a little cooler the next few days, so I'll probably get back onto that once it's hot again. We had some crazy heat. I don't know where it came from, out of nowhere. Everything blossomed overnight. I mean, not all the trees, but like, you know, the Coosa dogwoods, the cherry trees all up and down the streets and stuff like that. They all popped. A couple of my plants in the garden popped, you know. I get seasonal allergies, so that's always fun. You know, you get the dry eyes and the sneezing and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, beautiful weather, can't complain. It got all the way up to like, it was 98 degrees in my car, probably from it maybe sitting in the sun. Actually, as I started driving, it was like the high 80s, but still, for early spring, high 80s, that's pretty warm. But like I said, I can't complain. It's been cold all winter. So, anyway, so here's my redo story time. Where do I even start? Everything's just always like a thing. There's always a problem. There's always a story. That's the thing. I can't escape just having a story. I couldn't just go get a drug test and that's it, right? It had to be all these complications. So here's what happened. I needed to get a drug test for something, and there was a certain day that I had to do it, and it was kind of it was rough because I had to do stuff that morning, and I had a very small window to actually go take the test. Now, this particular place wanted me to take a test at a specific laboratory, which is nowhere near me. Right? It was almost an hour away. So the day that I wanted to, or was supposed to take this test, and I was trying to prepare, I wanted to time it so that I'd have plenty of time to get there, and things were running late. So now I'm already kind of late, and I'm leaving myself about an hour and 30 minutes to get there and get it done before they close. And remember, it's almost an hour away. So that's kind of close as it is. Now let me backtrack just a little bit and tell you that I absolutely hate pee tests. I can't pee on demand. I don't know what it is. I pee like everyone else. But if you tell me to go into a room and pee in a little cup, that moment, I just can't. I just get pee shy. I don't know what it is. So, like, I've taken drug tests before, you know, for different things. And I've, you know, peed on demand. And it's always a struggle. I always have to drink a ton of water to make sure I have to really pee. So, this day I'm preparing for this. And I'm guzzling water all day. I went through 1.5 gallons. And it's like maybe 15-20 minutes before it's time for me to go, and I have to pee. I have to pee so bad it's really hurting. You know, you really have to pee, and you can't. You know, you're not supposed to. You're waiting to pee somewhere else. You don't want to pee in your pants. Maybe you're doing something at work. Maybe you're sitting in line at the bank. Who knows? But I had to pee so bad I couldn't help it. I had to go at home a little bit. So it didn't turn out to be a little bit. I peed at home a lot. And then I was super paranoid that I was going to get there and be empty. The tank's empty, right? I just unloaded. What the hell? I just came out here. There was no bugs. Now they're all coming by to say hi. All right, so now I'm leaving to go drive down to this drug test. I don't know where it is, so I have to go figure out the directions. I grab 2 more gallons of water to chug while I'm driving. So this ended up taking me, I mean, I don't know if there's a different way I could have went, but it was like 5 minutes on the highway, and then it was all back roads, like windy, crazy, up extreme hills, down corners, around, all kinds of stuff. So I'm chugging water out of a gallon jug, right? Trying to follow these directions. I finally get there, and it's in like a strip mall in the middle of nowhere. It's a town in Pennsylvania I'd never been to before. And I'm in the parking lot. I'm chugging water. I'm pounding this stuff. Now, they're only open for another, like, I don't know, 25, 30 minutes, right? So I walk in, I have my water in one hand and my paperwork in the other hand that I'm supposed to bring to scan all that stuff. And I go up to the counter and the woman's like, oh, hi, how can I help you? And I said, oh, I'm here for, you know, a drug test, a urine test. And she's like, ooh, you're at the wrong place. So I'm like, what do you mean? I'm thoroughly confused. This is the address for sure. It turns out it's next door. I don't know why this laboratory has 2 locations literally next to each other in a strip mall. One door is for one stuff or certain stuff, the other door is for the other stuff. So my heart drops at this point. I'm like, and by the way, I only have 1 day to do this. I cannot retake this test. All right, I can't go over all the details in this video, but I can't redo it. So this has to happen, right? For the time that I need to get done. So my heart drops, and then I'm instantly relieved. This extreme high and low. So I go next door. Now, as I'm walking next door, their door is different. Their door says that you have to wear a mask. Now, there's 2 signs in the door. Number 1 says no weapons. You know, has the gun with the, you know, cross over it, which I always laugh at because that's just a suggestion to me. It's not a law. It's just a personal business suggestion. They do have the right to ask you to leave if they see your weapon, but it's not illegal to bring it in there. And then the other sign says, please wear a mask. It's still required. That's literally what it says on the sign. Now, as I'm opening the door, I'm looking at both these signs. I'm not thinking much about it. I'm really not. Come on, these gnats. Oh no, they're mosquitoes. Hold on. Ooh, ooh. I want to mush it against my lens. All right. So, sorry about that. So I don't think anything of it, right? I open the door, and there's no one in there, and I'm walking across the little carpet area to the window, and I see the woman that's there, the nurse. She's wearing a mask, you know, like an N95. And as I'm walking up, I'm thinking, is that sign like... Because I thought it was just an old sign, you know, people left their signs up. Nope. She says, excuse me, sir, you have to put on a mask. I'm sorry, it's still a mandate. And I'm thinking, like, no, it's not. But if your company policy says to wear a mask, whatever, it's not a big deal. So I said, hey, you know, it's been a while. I haven't worn a mask anywhere in years now. So do you have one you can give me? She's like, oh, yeah, here. And so she gives me the mask. And I'm struggling to put the mask on. Meanwhile, I walked in with my paperwork and my jug of water. So I plop my jug of water on the counter. I'm like, oh, I'll take your mask. And I'm putting it on. And I'm like, hey, I'm here for the drug test. She goes, ooh, I'm sorry, sir. We don't do drug tests for the last hour of our service during the day. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, oh, well, you know, we do those, you know, all day. There's no appointments. It's first come, first serve. But the last hour that we're open, we don't do drug testing. We do other things. And I said, ma'am, I am here for a drug test. I said, I'm really sorry that I arrived late. Like, there's nothing in the paperwork that I was given, nothing on the website that was so apparently obvious that says we don't do drug tests the last hour. So I had no idea. Otherwise, I would have made it a point to get there in time. I'm real sorry, sir. There's nothing we could do. So I'm like flabbergasted. I'm kind of like frozen because I don't know what to do. I don't want to be confrontational. I don't want to be a jerk or anything, but I have to get this done. I tell him, like, listen, I came a long way. I have to get this done today. Is there anything you could do for me so we could do this right now? I'm sorry, sir. It's just we close it down. The computers are shut off, blah, blah, blah. I said, listen, can I piss in a cup and just put my name on it? And then tomorrow when you open up, you just run it through and process it. And she's like, yeah, I'm sorry, sir. It doesn't work like that. There's a process. I have to make sure it's you and all this stuff. And I'm like, please, like, lady, I'm begging you, please, is there anything you could do? And she goes, all right, well, let me just try to see if I can, you know, log back in and open everything up. And I said, I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. She tells me to go to the little kiosk thing, scan my driver's license, scan the paperwork, put all my information in. So I'm doing all this stuff, and I'm hoping and praying to God that this is going to go through and she's going to be able to do it. So like 5 or 10 minutes goes by. Keep in mind, they're closing at this point. They're closing in like 25 minutes, 20 minutes or so. And she says, well, listen, if I do this, can you give me a sample, like right now? You know, can you pee? Do you have to pee? And I said, and I show her the water. I'm like, I'm chugging this water like crazy, lady. Like, I'm hoping I can. I can't promise anything. But she's like, if I open this whole system back up, you have to give me a sample. So I'm like, all right. You know, I'm chugging the water, and literally as she's telling me, I took my mask up, I'm chugging the gallon of water, go, I'm just guzzling it. She's like, all right, fine, come back. I come back, she tells me this whole like lengthy process. I answer questions, do the paperwork and everything. And she goes to this thing where I have to pick the cup, like she opens a drawer, I have to pick the cup myself. Then she has to take it from me and sign on it. Then I have to sign my name on it. This whole process. Then we go into the actual bathroom. She tells me the rules. You can't flush the toilet, you can't turn on the sink. If you flush the toilet or turn on the sink, the sample is going to be thrown out and you have to come back some other day. This is obviously to avoid any kind of fake urine you bring in to try to, you know, pass the test illegally, I guess. So then she says, okay, well, you know, do you understand the instructions? I said, yes, I understand the instructions. She's like, because I tell people that and they forget and they flush the toilet and it's all over with. We can't use it. Okay, fine. Like I promise I will not forget. So when you're in the bathroom, there's a lockbox, a metal box. It's pretty substantial. It has a padlock on it. She opens up the lock, opens the box up, and she says, okay, well, I need you to empty all your pockets. I say, okay. Like I'm not even thinking. And by the way, I've never done this for a drug test. I've never emptied my pockets. Maybe it's more stringent. Maybe it's because of the specific location they sent me to. I don't know, but I'm kind of like taken back by this a little bit. So I'm like, what do you mean, just take everything in my pocket? She's like, yes, we have to make sure you don't have any, you know, fake urine or anything that you're going to contaminate this test with. All right, fine. And she says, you have to take that off. She goes, you have to take that off. She's talking about my neck knife. At this point, I think I have my cold steel spike or something. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, no problem. Throw my hat in there, take off my neck knife, put that in there, take my wallet out, put that in there, take out my, I have my EDC organizer, which has my pen, my lighter, and in this case, I think I had another spare small knife, a little slip joint. And so I'm like, okay, well, I think, oh, my keys. Okay, I got my keys. And then she goes, well, what do you have in your front pocket? And at this point, I have my Glock 43 with the light on it. And I forgot. I forgot about the sign. I forgot about, because I carry a gun everywhere, no matter what. Now, if I know I'm going out for the day for a long thing, I will usually try to have my Glock 19. I have a full-size firearm. Sometimes I do carry other things that I have just for fun, change it up a little bit. But quick things like this, it's the 43 or it's the SIG P365 pocket carry. I also have a Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0, I think I pocket carry too. But at this point, now the sign on the door is flashing in my mind. So she's like, sir, I see a bulge in your pocket. And at this point, I get completely distracted, and I'm laughing in my head like, oh yeah, that's my bulge, lady, sorry. Can't have that. But then I immediately go back to, no, I have a gun in my pocket. She's going to be pissed off. So I tell her, I say, listen, I have a concealed firearm in my pocket. What would you like me to do? And she's like, you have a gun in your pocket? Sir, you're not supposed to have guns in here in this entire facility. I said, yeah, I didn't know. Slipped my mind. I carry it everywhere. She says, just like that, she goes, okay, take it out and put it in the box carefully. And I said, all right, fine. You know, because she has to make sure I don't have anything else in my pockets. I take it out. I immediately drop the mag. I put the mag in there. I reach down in the gun, open the slide, leave the gun in there. She says, okay, is there anything else you have on your person? And she's like kind of annoyed because I'm already pissed her off by doing this, and she was nice enough to get it going for me. I really did appreciate it. I kept apologizing. I'm like, look, I'm sorry we had to go through this whole process and blah, blah. So now it's super awkward. She's being really awkward. And then she, you know, shuts the box. She locks up the box. And at this point, she tells me that I have to, she gives me the cup. She tells me I have to fill it up to a certain amount. She's like, if you don't fill it up into this amount, if it's less than this line, we can't use it. And I'm thinking, like, what are people taking shots or something? Like, why do I need so much? Isn't it going on a little slide somewhere? Whatever. So I'm like, yeah, no, it's fine. Totally fine. She's like, so listen, don't flush the toilet. Don't turn on the sink if I hear the toilet, or see the sink on or anything like that. And if you don't fill this line, we really can't use this. And she's like, you got one shot at this. I'm like, I understand completely. I got you. Then she says, okay, well, unzip your pants, take it out. I have to hold it to make sure that it's real. And I completely made that part up. That obviously didn't happen. I had to throw you for a little loop there. Everything else is 100% true, by the way. But I knew I'd have to mess around with you guys a little bit. No. So she said, okay, well, you're going to get your privacy. And she leaves the room, locks the door. Literally hear her locking the door. I'm thinking, oh, that's kind of strange. Okay, fine. So now, zipper goes down, it comes out, and I'm just at a standstill. Okay, after all this stress, and even though I've been chugging water, that long pee I had at the house was enough. So now I'm standing there with me in my hand, and nothing's happening. And now I start to panic. I'm like, after all of this, are you kidding me? I'm not going to be able to pee in this cup. This lady's going to be pissed. I'm going to be pissed. I wasted my time. This is going to screw everything up. And so then I'm like, come on. I'm having like a pep talk, you know, with the guy downstairs. I'm like, listen, buddy, we got to do this. This has to happen. Come on. And so I'm like, I try pushing and nothing. I'm standing there for probably maybe 2 minutes, and it feels like an hour. 2 straight minutes of just standing there exposed at the toilet. Nothing's going on. I'm starting to really panic. I'm actually sweating. Like I'm like I could feel the sweat dripping down my face. I'm like, oh my God, please. So I give it another shot. I'm like, oh. And finally, a stream comes out. A beautiful light golden stream. Wonderful. And I hear the cut. I'm looking at it, filling up. And then I hit that line, immediately moved the cup. I didn't want to fill it all the way up, have some kind of problem or something. So as soon as I got just at that line, pulled the cup away, finished in the toilet, put my stuff away, zipped my pants, and I went to go wash my hands, which is the right thing to do, a normal thing to do. And I remember the last second, I literally almost touched the handle for the sink, and I'm like, oh, no. All right, so I seal the top, and I hear her in the other room. She says, okay, are you done? I heard you going. Okay. I said, yes, I'm all done now. She's like, okay, well, you can, you know, just make sure your pants are fixed and everything, and let me know. I'll come on in. So I said, okay, well, I'm done. It's in. And she opened the door, and I showed her the sample, and she said, okay, that's perfect. Thank you. Thank you for remembering not to do toilet. I'm assuming that, like so many people, day after day after day, she's like, okay, don't touch the sink, don't touch the toilet. And then she heard people in there in the toilet flush, and she goes, oh, Jesus, you know, and then she has to scrap it. So everything went okay. And at this point, now I'm back in the other room. She had to put out the serial number, put the sticker on it. I had to sign again on the bottle and underneath that the sample was given. It was like this whole really lengthy, involved process for just some pee in a cup. And I told her, I said, listen, I am so thankful. Thank you so much for just helping me out here. I really needed this. And she's like, oh, it's fine, sir, it's fine. I said, listen, can I give you something? And she's like, she made kind of a face. I'm like, she's like, what? And I'm like, oh, can I buy you a cup of coffee? Can I give you a tip? Anything as a thank you. Like, I'd really like to thank you for this. I know you went out of your way. And realistically, I don't know what she did. Just turn the computer back on and log in. I find it kind of funny that, like she said, there is nothing we could do. And here I am. Like, I don't know what you did, but that was something. I do appreciate it. I'm not mad at her in any way at all. But I'm just saying, like, when you talk to people in customer service, sir, there is nothing we can do. You got to talk to someone else, or you got to keep asking. Because usually there's something they can do. So anyway, it finally worked out. She was a little thrown when I'm like, oh, can I get you a cup of coffee or something? And I told, because then it was like quiet for a second. And I'm sorry, I'm not hitting on you or anything. I'm married, and, you know, I just want to say thank you for this. Like, I really appreciate you doing this so that I don't have to come back some other time. And I don't know if I can come back. It's okay, sir. It's okay, whatever. And then she's like, oh, just go in the other room, get all your stuff. Don't forget to get your gun. She says, don't forget to get your gun. I'm like, oh, no, it's fine. I got it. Went back in the bathroom. She unlocked the little, metal box there. Put my whole EDC back on and stuff. And said, see you later, lady. And that was it. And a couple of days later, I got my results back, and I passed. What a hassle. Why is everything a hassle? I feel like everything I do, it just can't go smoothly. Sometimes, sometimes I get lucky. Sometimes I'm pretty unlucky. But there's just always something. And I said this earlier, maybe in the other video, but it's like a family thing. You know, my parents, you know, every time they go do something, there's always some kind of story to tell, something that goes wrong. Sometimes it's something that really, really goes wrong bad, and sometimes just a little funny thing. You know, randomly, my parents go out to dinner. It's never right. There's always some problem. You know, vacations, there's always a story to tell. I have a lot of stories. I don't always do, like, I know people like these storytime videos. I don't always, like, am in the mood to really just sit and, like, tell a story. This is the one I wanted to tell, because this one really stuck out as being, like, it was so stressful, it was so emotional, highs and lows, and I'm like, I really need to get this done, and then I thought they weren't going to do it, and then the other lady said, oh, we're not going to do it, and I'm like, please, and I was begging. I felt super defeated, and then just super awkward, and just back and forth, and the whole thing, and so, yeah, that's my story. That's what happened. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. You know, let me know if you've had, you know, drug tests where, I mean, was it awkward? I don't know why I make everything up. Maybe I'm an awkward person. I don't think I'm awkward, but maybe I am. I don't know. It's okay. I am who I am. I don't want to change, but maybe I am awkward. I'll tell you a bonus little story here real quick. That's super funny because it was very, very awkward. So I can't give you the whole story, but I was talking to a woman. This woman is probably like 40-ish or whatever. We're in a situation where she's next to me, and this is like in public, and I barely know this woman. And I don't even know if she's married and has a boyfriend, anything like that, right? So she had her hair up in a ponytail, and I never see her, this particular person, who I barely know as it is, but when I do see her, I don't usually see her with a ponytail. So we're standing next to each other for something. Sorry, I can't explain why, but we're standing there, and it's super awkward and super quiet, and she's not saying anything. I don't know what came out of me. I felt like I had to say something. So I'm like, oh, you know, your hair looks nice in a ponytail. Just a little compliment. I do this all the time, by the way, with all kinds of people. I'm not flirting or anything. I'm just being nice. I genuinely thought, hey, your hair looks nicer in a ponytail than down. And she was very, you know, very flattered. Oh, thank you so much. You know, yeah, it's hot out. I just want to put it in a ponytail. And, you know, thank you. I appreciate that. And I said, yeah. And then this comes out of me. I should have just stopped there. It would have been fine. That would have been it. I'm just breaking the ice because we're just standing there. We're doing something kind of together, but not really together. And it's just quiet and awkward. So then this comes out of my mouth. I don't know why. I say, yeah, sometimes it looks like crap. I use the S word. Sometimes it really looks like crap, and sometimes it looks good. Now, what I meant by that was women in general. Some women who wear their hair in a ponytail, it looks like crap. Sometimes it looks good. She makes a weird face. I walk away, and it dawns on me, maybe she thought that I was talking about her hair looking like crap sometimes, and sometimes it looks good. And then it was even more awkward, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should go explain. And then I'm like, no, that'd be even more awkward if I explained myself. So I bailed. That was it. Now, since that situation, I have seen the woman, and she acted normal, so I don't think she's, I don't know what she's thinking, to be honest. Who cares? But I didn't mean to be, I actually meant to be nice. I said it because I genuinely thought it looked nice, and I was just complimenting her because it was super awkward and quiet. And who knows what she thinks of me now. But that's the benefit of being married. I don't care. I really don't care. I say this all the time to people. I talk to a lot of guys, a lot of knife people, and it's a lot of dudes. You know, not a lot of women in this this community. And there are women, but not a whole bunch. But it's mostly guys, and sometimes talk about relationships and things like that, and women. And I always tell guys that, I mean, once I got married, there's almost like some kind of relief that you're not constantly trying to impress women. Like if I'm in a situation where I'm opening a door for someone, I might even explain this recently, but if I'm opening a door for everyone. It could be a 12-year-old boy, it could be, you know, a 55-year-old woman, it could be a 42-year-old guy. If someone's buying me, I'm opening the door because I'm being courteous. But for some reason, like if there's that hot lady, that hot girl, and, you know, the guy's by, oh, you know, open the door to be really nice and stuff. I don't know what guys are thinking, like that's going to get you somewhere. Maybe you're just being nice, maybe not. But, like, I don't see women the same way. I'm not interested. You know what I mean? Like, I can appreciate beautiful women. Trust me. If I see a beautiful woman, I even tell Christina, hey, the woman's beautiful. Or she might say something first. Or if someone's wearing something pretty scant, she might comment. I'm like, yeah, her butt's hanging out, you know? So we have a good relationship in that sense. You know, we're very honest with each other. But, like, I'm not trying to impress women. And when I was single, I did it all the time. Like every dude who's single. You know, you open that door extra, make sure you get that door for that one girl, you know, because she's pretty hot. And then you do this. Oh, you know, no, let me do this for you. And these women, they get pampered by strangers because all these guys think they're going to get somewhere with that, and you're not. You're not. So it's just one of those things where it's almost like it's a relief. And I've had this conversation with one of my friends recently too, and if there was no sex drive in men at all, you know what I mean? Like if it was just for procreation and there's no urge or anything, we live in a very different society. And I don't even want to say what I think society would be like, because it's 2023 and you get canceled for even suggesting anything other than what it is. So I'll leave it at that. But yeah, once you're very happily married or in love with someone, like truly in love with someone, man, it's a great feeling. Not only is love a great feeling, but just no longer having to impress other women is really nice. I can be myself. I am very nice, but I'm nice to everyone. You know what I mean? There's no alternative motive. I'm just being nice to a stranger because they're a stranger and I have an opportunity to be nice. That's it. I'm not trying to get anything out of it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that is it for now. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below. Let me know if you have a lifestyle where you, I don't know, have a bunch of awkward moments all the time. Are you like me? You're just always awkward? It's just always something to talk about? I don't know. Anyway, that's it. Hope you guys have a good one. The sun is going down, it's starting to get a little chilly, and I'm headed inside. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.